Mankind had been broadcasting signals into space for nearly 2 centuries, hoping someone would answer. When the response finally came, it wasn't directed at any of those ancient transmissions. Instead, a massive vessel simply appeared at the edge of Earth's solar system and announced itself. "Greetings, people of Earth. We represent the Galactic Union, a coalition of sentient species. We have been observing your civilization and believe the time has come for formal contact." The next 6 months were a whirlwind of activity. Earth's nations, which had been steadily unifying over decades of shared climate challenges and space exploration, formed an emergency response team. President Elena Martinez of the United Earth Government led the diplomatic mission aboard the Union's ship. Commander Sarah Lynn stood at attention as the strange beings filed into the meeting chamber. Some floated on anti-gravity platforms, others walked on multiple legs, and a few seemed to shift form entirely. Despite years of training for this moment, nothing could prepare humans for the reality of 30 different alien species gathered in one room. "We welcome Earth's representatives," announced Zorith, the Union's chairperson. Its body resembled a towering crystalline structure with shimmering facets that reflected light in mesmerizing patterns. "This begins your species evaluation period." The diplomatic team exchanged glances. "Evaluation?" President Martinez asked. "Of course," replied KLYX, a squat, amphibious alien with bioluminescent skin. "All species must be evaluated before Union membership is considered. The process typically takes 1 local solar cycle, approximately 14 Earth months." Union representatives visited the planet, observing human industries, governance structures, cultural practices, and military capabilities. They collected historical records and genetic samples. Humans cooperated fully, seeing Union membership as the doorway to advanced technology, interstellar travel, and cosmic collaboration. On the final day of evaluation, Commander Lynn escorted several Union members through the Museum of Human History in New Geneva. "Your species has an unusual fixation with conflict," noted Vera, a tall, insectoid alien with iridescent wings. "Your historical monuments often commemorate battles and wars. We remember our past to learn from it," Lynn explained. "Humanity has evolved beyond many of those violent tendencies." Vera's wings flickered in a pattern Lynn's translator couldn't interpret. "Recent historical evidence suggests otherwise." The Union's decision came 4 weeks later. The Earth delegation was summoned to the Union ship in orbit. President Martinez, Commander Lynn, and 6 other representatives sat at a round table across from 10 Union members. After careful evaluation, Zorith began, "The Union has reached a decision regarding Earth status. While we acknowledge your technological progress, your species exhibits concerning patterns of unpredictability, resource consumption, and historical violence. Additionally, your technological development path diverges significantly from established Union standards." The room temperature seemed to drop several degrees. Commander Lynn watched President Martinez's face remain carefully neutral. "Therefore," Zorith continued, "we cannot offer full Union membership at this time. Instead, we extend protectorate status with the following conditions: Earth will receive limited technological assistance, human expansion will be restricted to your solar system, and all military development will require Union approval." A murmur ran through the human delegation. "Protectorate status, effective second-class citizenship in the galaxy. This is a generous offer," added KLYX. "Many species wait centuries for even this level of recognition." President Martinez stood slowly. "On behalf of Earth, I thank the Union for its thorough evaluation. We request time to consider your offer and consult with our people back on Earth." Emergency sessions of the United Earth Parliament debated the offer for days. Public opinion was sharply divided between those grateful for any cosmic recognition and those outraged by the patronizing terms. "They see us as children," Commander Lynn said during a closed military briefing. "Dangerous children they need to control." General O'Connor nodded grimly. "The question is, Are we willing to accept those chains just to have a seat at their table? As debate raged across Earth, humanity faced its first great interstellar choice: accept limitations from those who deemed them lesser, or chart a different course among the stars. 4 weeks after the Union's offer, Earth's response was ready. The United Earth Parliament had voted after days of heated debate. The decision wasn't unanimous, but it was decisive. The Union representatives waited in the grand meeting hall built specifically for interspecies diplomacy in Geneva. Zorith sat in the center position, flanked by 6 other Union members. Their postures showed mild boredom. They had seen this play out before with dozens of young species. Captain David Carter entered the room in full diplomatic uniform, his face showing no emotion. As Earth's newly appointed chief diplomat, he carried humanity's official response. The Union expected gratitude, perhaps some minor negotiation over terms. What they didn't expect was the thin document Carter placed on the table. The United Earth government thanks the Galactic Union for its evaluation and offer, Carter began, his voice steady. After careful consideration, Earth has reached its decision. Zorith leaned forward slightly, crystalline facets shimmering in anticipation. We respectfully decline your offer and withdraw our application for consideration. The translator devices around the room fell silent for a moment, as if struggling to process the words. Zoritha's crystalline form stiffened. Perhaps there is a translation error, said KLWX. There is no error, Carter replied. Humanity has decided to chart its own path forward. We wish the Union well, but we will proceed independently. The Union members exchanged glances, their various biological expressions unreadable to human eyes. This is unprecedented, Zorith finally said. And unwise. The galaxy contains dangers your species cannot comprehend without Union protection. We understand the risks, Carter interrupted. We accept them. This emotional response is precisely why your species requires guidance, said Vera. You react with pride rather than logic. Carter smiled slightly. Our decision is neither emotional nor prideful. It is strategic. The terms offered would limit humanity's growth for centuries. We've calculated that independence presents better long-term prospects. You may reconsider, Zorith said, rising to its full height. The offer remains open for 1 standard galactic year. Carter bowed slightly. We've prepared formal notification of closed borders. Earth will maintain a 12 light-year buffer zone around Sol. We request no Union vessels enter this space without explicit permission. Later that day, Captain Carter watched from the observation deck as the Union ship departed Earth orbit. Beside him stood General O'Connor and Dr. Emily Zhang, head of Earth's Advanced Research Division. They think we'll come crawling back, O'Connor said, watching the alien vessel shrink to a distant point of light. They've seen it before with other species who tried independence and failed. Dr. Zhang nodded. The Union believes their technological path is the only viable one. Our different approach confuses them. How long until Project Horizon is ready? Carter asked. The first phase can begin immediately, Dr. Zhang replied. With the resources previously allocated for Union integration, we can accelerate development significantly. Carter turned from the window. Then we begin today. The Union has existed for thousands of years without major innovation. They've grown comfortable, complacent, and bureaucratic. Their military doctrine hasn't changed in centuries, added O'Connor. Within days, Earth went quiet. Communication hubs that had excitedly broadcast to the stars fell silent. Observation posts reported Union scout ships at the edge of the solar system, watching, waiting for humans to realize their mistake, but Earth wasn't retreating. It was preparing. In underground facilities across the planet, scientists and engineers worked on technologies the Union had deemed impossible or inefficient. On the far side of the moon, the first ships of Project Horizon took shape, vessels designed with principles that broke from Union doctrine. How long do you think they'll wait for us to come back? Asked a young engineer as Carter toured the lunar facility. They're patient, Carter replied, watching workers assemble a drive system unlike anything the Union used. They've waited out other species before. But no one's ever walked away quite like us, the engineer said with a smile. No, Carter agreed. No one has. And that's our advantage. 30 years later, the collapse of the Galactic Union began with a single malfunction on the core world of Vexus Prime. Financial systems briefly flickered offline before restoring themselves. Officials blamed a minor technical glitch. 3 days later, atmospheric regulators on Tonus malfunctioned for 6 hours. Again, local technicians filed reports citing routine maintenance issues. No one connected the incidents until it was too late. Union Ambassador Aora Vax had never expected to make this journey. As her small diplomatic vessel approached the edge of what intelligence reports called human space, she felt a mixture of dread and hope. The dread came from her mission, essentially begging a species the Union had once dismissed. The hope came from increasingly desperate Rep.